ओम ओम सदाशिवसमारंभा शंकराचार्य मध्यमा अस्मदाचार्य पर्यंता वंदे गुरुपरंपरा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहि तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्री गुरुं परमानंदं वंदे स्वानंद विग्रहं यस्य सन्निध्यमात्रेण चिदानंदायते वपुः तनुः। So as always I make mistake that tanuh vapuh all the time. In the last class, verse number 31, I made a little mistake. So I would like to rectify. So the translation have been given to you people. I hope you have got your translation. So through the WhatsApp, you can look. एक स्त्री भुज्यते द्वाभ्याम आगता चंद्रमंडलात् तृतीयो यह पुनः ताभ्याम स भवेत् अजरा अजरः अमरः इति अजरा अमरः. So there I made like I divided into three parts. So there was a little confusion. So somehow I was not comfortable. So I had to look at few other things and spend little time as how I gave a wrong translation. How? That's why the translation plays a big role. And yesterday, to be very honest, I had not done my homework. So when you do not do homework, you know what happens. So I'm sorry. So here is a little differently we need to understand. So this example they have given in a very funny way, that the dhara, the flow, so that comes from Chandra Mandala. So that means, as we have discussed many times in different occasions, so that means especially from above the talu mula. That's why Khechari Mudra. And that being the source, later on also we'll see in details. So when the dhara, and that too Amruta dhara, because that is the essence of life. And that flow, when starts flowing, is consumed by two people. So they are called Surya and Chandra. Again. So who are the Chandra Surya? Chandra Nadi, Surya Nadi. So a common person, what does it do? Whatever dhara flows down, so is consumed by either Surya Nadi or Chandra Nadi. And that is how the essence of life being consumed and wasted. So here he says, look, whereas the third one is, so the one, what he does, who does not allow this dhara, this flow to be consumed by these two. And that person alone becomes Ajara and Amara. So free from geriatric problem and becomes immortal. So that's why while talking this thing, he brought later on, so this Amrutatma, verse number 32, remains in Talu Mulam. And later on, He says what you need to do. So you need to do upside down. That's why I have seen in many occasions that is how it happens. When we start moving, I can say openly share something very personally that teaching administration cannot go together. In every ashram setup, the teacher should not do any administration. Administration should support the teacher and teaching. Whereas if the teacher becomes part of the administration, whether you like it or not, things will go wrong. Anywhere. And it is exact like, I would rather say, in a company setup, HR and decision making people. Imagine HR starts taking decision, becomes a CEO. So your CEO and HR becomes one and same. Will that company have disaster or not? Because you know better. What is the job of the HR? A human resource, okay? So what is the job of the HR? To execute what CEO want, what directors want. You understand? What investors want, shareholders, stakeholders want. That's why HR very nicely they will handle the situation. Hanji, yes, 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 yes. Pretend as though they are working for employees, but in reality, always they work for employer. Is it clear? It's a very raw example. Same thing also here. Now, what we need to do here, when the teacher gets into administration, then this teaching definitely will be obstructed. That's why once in a while reversing the process. In fact, this Chaturmasya Vratam was meant for that. A Swami is not supposed to stay in one's own setup or wherever goes, should stay in some other setup where everything is taken care at least for 2 months. The Swami never think of anything. But in our case, you know, okay? Don't ask me, okay? You all are great. Namaste to all of you. This is my prarabdha. Coming back, little bit stretched differently. Here, when this Amrita Dhara keeps flowing, consumed by two people, that is Surya and Chandra, which is natural, which is common. Now the yogi, who is third person, who does not allow this dhara to be consumed by two. And for that sake, the person does this viparita karani mudra. Also, nabha mudra. That's why whenever your energy is low, make sure do nabha mudra. And by doing nabha mudra, in fact, you can do anytime and every time. You will not allow at least the energy to fall down, the amrutam to fall down. Then you can say, look, Swamiji, I can do all these things. Like, people like asuras, okay? They do all these things, build up the energy, destroy somebody or yourself. Hey, please don't do that. You have to maintain, okay? Don't boom, fall down, boom, fall down. It will not work. However, let us read the verse. Number 35. Tridha baddhavruso yatra Ruraviti Mahaswana Anahatam Chakram Hridaye Yogino Viduhu. He gives one example, Brushava, Brusha. So Brushava means, this bull, always very strong, mighty, no discipline, nothing. And wherever wants to go, goes. And interestingly, I will add one Brushava, this bull, especially in Indian bull, okay? I have seen this thing from our childhood till now. Suppose one bull comes and eats some of your vegetables or plants or whatever. If you do not know, if you start hitting, chase the fellow away, do you know what you will do? Night will come and destroy everything. It is impossible to protect from that fellow. I don't know how they do. They really do systematic destruction. So we have been taught from the childhood, if it is done by ox, you can hit, chase them. If it is done by bull, you see, should know very nicely, politely, you have to go. Even if you take a stick, please go, please go, please go. Don't hit, don't irritate. And if you irritate, I don't know how, night will come, they will come, that fellow will come back. Sometimes with the group, okay, don't worry. Next day morning, you discover there will be nothing. And I'm talking about, forget about small place. In the field also, there will be no many people, this especially paddy, hectares of paddy, and you will be somewhere in between, and you chase. That fellow will go in the night, only attack your place. And all other place will be perfectly protected, nothing will happen. So, in short, it's a nice observation of Brushava. It's totally wild, full of energy, whimsical, at the same time connected to Lord Shiva. That's why, okay, we expect, okay, please take care. Now, that is compared to Jiva. This Brushava, we need to take in two ways. As that Vrusha, the bull, all aspect is involved. Also with Jiva, all the aspects are involved. So perfect match, okay? Now, he says, look, if a bull is being tied down in three ways, very nicely they do it. When they train or they try to catch a bull, so they have to tie down in three ways, not in two ways. So left side, right side, and sometimes back. So that ropes will be tied down in three ways. Then slowly it will move the way you want to take it. And once the bull is being tied down in three ways, that bull cannot move. Only will start making noise. And that too continuously, constantly, with echo, with reversal. So also this jiva. Thus jiva is tied down with three gunas: sattva, raja, and tamas. So when this jiva is being tied down with three gunas, now all the time crying, and crying, roraviti. Each word you can see how it is being put. Now, when it starts crying, murmuring, so this murmuring, external and internal, or external murmuring, takes place in the heart. That's why other name of heart chakra is called anahata chakra. Or you can say anahata chakra is located in heart. So what is anahata? That means hatha means stop, anahata means continuous, without any break. So that's why as long as you are stuck in murmuring level, so every time you have some type of reaction in you, so in the heart, remember that long you are not done anything for yourself. So one is supposed to grow beyond Anahata Chakra. No, no, Swamiji, look, I have to expand my heart. I have to accommodate. Please, God's sake. Okay? So you accommodate. While accommodating, you will not get drowned. You will also make others to drown. Okay? It is like, I want to rescue someone who is drowning. Hey, at least ask, do you know swimming? Forget swimming. Do you know also art of rescuing? Neither I know art of rescuing, nor I know swimming. But out of my big heart, I want to rescue. Yes, don't worry. Instead of one dead body, two dead bodies. Instead of one problem less, two problem will be less. Ah, fantastic. So this heart thing doesn't work, especially in Yoga Shastra, doesn't work at all. So he says very carefully, now this yogis say, the yogis, they know, so that is called Anahata Chakra, where all emotions continuously keep moving without any break. And when the jiva is being tied down by three gunas, that's why holding on to this heart is not going to be really long in long run helpful either. So it is better not to have a heart than having a heart, and you know what happens to you people. Okay. So here he says, look, once the person understand, look, this is the emotional being, then of course if you choose to be emotional, then don't come to yoga class. Okay. So you can come bhakti class, find out Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Perfect. Okay. If you want to come for yoga or Vedanta class, you have to be practical. Okay. Not emotional. Yes, you can have emotion, nothing wrong in it, but it has its own place. Don't be sentimental. It's not. However, once you understand this thing, then what is to be done? Okay, fantastic. What should I do? Read. Anahatam atikramya chakramya manipurakam prapte prane mahapadma yogi soyam mritayate. He says, look, what is to be done is here. A yogi works on with himself to reach Mahapadma. So the prana of yogi has to reach Mahapadma. So what is Mahapadma? There are different expressions comes related to Mahapadma. So generally, Padma means Sahasradhara. That's why 1,000 petals. As the Padma means lotus. So lotus has got 1,000 petals. So also Sahasradhara has got. Don't ask me what is Sahasradhara, okay? Then I'll say, okay, thank you. Let us stop the class, okay? Because I know some of you have this idea, okay, doubt, okay? What is Sahasradhara, Swamiji? So then coming to the point, so Padma, that is called Padma. And when we say that through Sushumna, because this Padma that is called Sahasradhara is considered as Mahapadma when it blooms, it opens up, it blossoms through Sushumna. That's why sometimes we say some other place that the Sushumna becomes the Padmanalam. That means that is the stem that is connected to the lotus. It's amazing things to understand. That's why if you observe another concept, coincidental is coming, many people ask this question that Lord Vishnu is lying down. From his navel goes one particular nalam, that stem, and lotus. On the top of lotus, there is a Brahma. Now, can you understand from a yogic standpoint here? So, what is the navel region? So, that is the prana kendra. So, that is the source of a prana. Now, Lord Vishnu has got that set of things. So, he doesn't have to, lift and make it from here. So, he knows how to divert. So, from this prana kendra, now he makes this lotus to bloom so that Brahmaji, the creator. So, because now as you look at the text, you can see how the connection comes. That's why in Hindu religion, in the Hindu concept, all are related to prana and yoga. Nothing is imaginary. You have to understand. Only problem is when we don't understand, we put it as imaginary. However, here it says nicely, once the prana reaches Mahapadma, then only the person will start enjoying one's own Amrutam nectar. And then only the person really enjoys life, living becomes meaningful, purposeful. Or else living has no value, no meaning at all. Especially if you observe, that time you say your day was very useful. When you go to bed, you can smile. Smilingly, if you can go to bed, today day was very helpful, very useful. Correct or not? Suppose if you go to bed with some regret, some pain, will you accept that your day was useful? Day was meaningful? Definitely not. So also, at the end of the so-called life, when you lie down, let us say at the deathbed, when the prana is supposed to leave the body, you should be able to smile. You understand? What I did. Amazing things I did. Okay. So if you can live, you can really smile, then only your life was made successful. Or else, what I achieve, what I don't achieve, everything is leaves behind and with sense of regret. If I don't achieve, of course, a lot of sense of regret. If I achieve also, maybe more, sometimes more regret, okay? Both way. So here he says, once this Mahapadmam is achieved, and how to do that? He uses this word. First, what happens? The person should make the prana to cross over, to uplift from Manipura. So from Manipura, the prana must go to Anahata. And of course, Anahatam also to be uplifted. So once the prana is also equally uplifted from both Manipuraka and Anahatam, then of course Visuddham. Then of course it doesn't talk about Agnya at least. then goes to Mahapadmam, this two leaves it, then only the person enjoys life. This is what I have told many times to all of you, that generally, whenever any issue happens in you with reference to anything, what happens? From which chakra do you relate? 90% people relate from either Anahata or Manipura. That's why you say, oh, my stomach is churning. You are thinking something. You are relating with somebody. Why your stomach should churn? You understand? Because you are connecting the situation from Anahata, because you are tied down. This Anahata, the prana falls down and it goes to your stomach, Manipura. Is it clear? So what you should do, at least to start with, now you need to relate at least from Agya Chakra. And you can see any issue in your life. This is a secret. Any issue in your life, if you relate through your Agya Chakra, not only you will have clarity, but also you will have, if not high energy, good energy to handle that situation. So learning to relate with reference to any situation, that to any emotion related to situation, people or object, to be done through Agya Chakra. And to understand this aspect, you can see for yourself whenever you see some news which is not related to you, or you discuss, especially I remember every country when they pass through this, any bill or any this yearly financial year. So you look at what, suppose you want to buy one big television, suddenly you discover television price has gone high. Your heart starts beating. Okay, oh, I wanted to buy one television, now this price has gone high, I don't know what to do. And suppose you are not interested to buy television, but television price has gone high, all electronics item has gone high. What do you bother? You look at that news, that discussion from your Agya Chakra. Oh, okay, maybe this is required, that is required, this price has gone up, that price has gone up, possible. So how you relate that? There you never use any other chakra other than Agya Chakra. So how you do that? Extend that to everything in your day-to-day life. This is the trick. And he says, once this is being done, then you will discover that you have really crossed, and then only your own nectar will be activated. Means you will not be under the spell of this three guna or your own subjectivity or your own insecurity. And this is what all about it. Continuing. Urdham Sudasapatra Padmagalitam Prayadabhaktam Hatat Durdhvasahasya Rasanam Nidhaya Vidhivat Saktim Param Chintaye Tat Kallola Kalajalam Suvimalam जिह्वाकुलं यः पीबे निर्दोषः समृणालकोमल बपुयोगी बपुर्योगी चिरं जीवति. Since look, if you observe, this is the natural process of any human being. So the nectar is always in Sahasradhara. Now, for a common person, Sahasradhara, it falls down and straight away goes to Jatharagni, digestive fire, where Surya is waiting and destroys. Whereas a yogi, that's why yogi has to be alert all the time. If a yogi does not become alert, that yoga will be bhrashta, will be destroyed. So again, the yogi has to put effort to uplift. So for a common person, it takes longer time. For a yogi, it takes, sometimes few days or few hours, few moments. This is the difference. And here it says exactly like this, that when this Sodasa Patra Padmagalitam, so that means when the prana, the amrutam falls down, that too Sodasa Patram. So that means what? This Visuddha Chakraiti. So there what happens? Ayat abaptam hatat urdhva. The yogi has to take a deep inhalation. And while taking deep inhalation, now uplifts it. And of course, while uplifting, what the person has to do, has to take the help of Rasana. So Rasana means tongue, means doing what? Which mudra? Nabha mudra. Because Nabha mudra only locks everything. And once this is being done, and of course, there is a method, it has to be done carefully and following certain procedures. That's why vidhivat, not that the way you want. Then param chintaye. So parasakti. So that means we do visualize, we do place the deity. That's why we have discussed very carefully earlier. Many times I do say this point, that whenever this happens, also you can do Yoni Mudra. So with Yoni Mudra, in front of the deity, and that too while doing your Navamudra, you can uplift it. So here is this being said, then only what will happen? The person again will be able to access that Amrutadhara. And once you start accessing back to Amrutadhara, your energy will be changed in a second. Is it clear? When Amrutadhara is being wasted, your energy is out. When your Amrutadhara is being accessed, your energy is out. It is exactly like your Wi-Fi, okay? The moment your phone is out of network, then what happens? You search. Battery is down, everything is down. Once you are connected, you know better. Now what happens? He says, look, once the person starts enjoying it, and interestingly, the yogi will have few things to see. That first one is the body, the bapu, becomes soft, tender. The softness has to come in the body. The body cannot be hard, cannot be tough. It has to be. And not only that, also the person will be pure, nirdosha, even nirdosha. And not only that, of course, the person will keep moving as per the situation. Use this word called, that Sandula Nala, how the lotus Nalam, lotus stalks keep moving. And finally, that says Chiram Jivati Iti. The person will live longer. More of it. We'll see. Om Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachete Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, all of you.